Hello everybody, this is another Hot Wheels collector video. Today we are looking at a brand new casting for 2023. This car features in the 2023 P case and I'm super happy to have it. This is the Ford F-150 Lightning Custom. Wasn't expecting to be getting this new casting as well as all the other ones which feature in the 2023 P case so early on in this year, but it just kind of worked out that way. I will quickly mention that this car does feature in the Hot Wheels Hot Trucks series and is number 9 out of 10 in that set. And yeah, this is definitely a hot truck to say the least. Obviously it is a heavily modified version of the Ford F-150 Lightning, and hence it is called the Ford F-150 Lightning Custom. I really do like the direction that Hot Wheels are going, making these kind of cool custom variants of cars. They are of course still making the factory fresh looking things, but this just kind of allows the Hot Wheels design team to kind of add their own flair to a lot of different cars. And I think, the standard version of this car in real life is not particularly interesting, but this one just looks so crazy. It's kind of meant to be like a racing version of the car. Looks fantastic in my opinion. But anyways, before we get into the showcase of the Hot Wheels model, let me give you some facts about the real life car. So in real life, this car has 2 electric motors and a 98 kilowatt battery. This car is also all-wheel drive and produces 452 horsepower. All the way to 580 horsepower, depending on which trim level you select. This car also has 775 pound-feet of torque converted to 1054 Nm of torque. This car also has a 0-60 in 4.2 seconds, not too bad, especially for the size of this car, and also has a top speed of 112 miles per hour, which is the equivalent to 180 kilometers per hour. I will quickly mention that all these facts are about obviously the standard version of this car and not the modified one, because obviously this modified one does not exist in real life, or at least as far as I'm aware of, so we don't know how fast this would be because it doesn't exist in real life. And if you do want a stock version of this car in real life, you will have to pay $50,000 all the way up to $92,000 depending on which trim level you select, and the $92,000 trim level is the Platinum Extended Range model. That is equivalent to £41,000 all the way up to £75,300. Anyways, that's it for the facts about this car. Now let's move on to the actual showcase of the Hot Wheels model. Alright, so kicking off this showcase, we'll first of all take a look at the side of this car. And I will first of all mention the wheel choice on this thing. So this car is rolling on the Aero Disc wheels, which have been painted in chrome. I really do like these wheels on this car. I know quite a lot of people don't actually like the Aero Disc wheels at all, but I really am quite a fan of them for some reason. I know that's quite a controversial take, but I do think they suit this car very nicely there. I will mention that the rear wheels are much larger than the front wheels. On most cars that kind of looks a bit goofy, but on this one I think it looks especially nice. I think it adds to that racing look of it. Alright, and now let's move on to the colour of this car. So this car is painted in a metallic, quite dark blue colour. It looks fantastic on this car, and I would, associate this blue colour with Ford itself. It's very much a Ford blue in my opinion. And as for the tamper work on the side of this car, it is absolutely plentiful. So first of all, we have this modern kind of looking camouflage almost look. It's created through a lot of different triangles, all painted in different shades of blue. Keeps the theme of the blue car going along the side, and it looks fantastic in my opinion. You also do see the F-150 Lightning writing, which has been done in white. You can also see the giant Ford logo has also been done in white. Alright, and a final piece of tamper work on the side of this car is what appears to be some kind of plaque which has been tampered in black. You can see that it is a plaque on the card art. I will kind of show you here, there. Hopefully you can see that there. But yeah, it looks like it's some kind of plaque. Maybe it would tell you that this is the Ford F-150 Lightning. That's what I presume it to be. Obviously it wouldn't be a vent because this is an electric car and that wouldn't make much sense other than aerodynamics, I suppose. Maybe that would be something, but it isn't. That appears to be a plaque, and that's it. Finally, I will mention that the side skirts of this car are created using the black base plastic. I will also mention that this car does feature wing mirrors in the metal casting. And finally, I will mention that all the windows on this car are wound up and are not tinted at all. Oh, and one final piece of tamper work I almost missed is this Hot Wheels logo, which has been painted in quite a light blue colour. I literally almost missed that out. Anyways, that is it for the side of this car. Now let's move on to the front of this thing. Alright, and taking a look at the front of this car, you'll be able to see that there is no tamper work here. But everything is created in a very interesting way. So first of all, we have that light bar, which is actually created through the use of the window plastic. Very nice to see that there. But the grille is not created through the window plastic. It's actually created through the chrome interior plastic. That looks fantastic in my opinion. It really does differentiate the different parts of the car. Very nice to see Hot Wheels have added that extra level of detail and have manipulated the plastics in a way which look fantastic and more accurate to the real life car. A final thing you can see here is there is a large front splitter which is created through the use of the black base plastic again. It's very extreme looking and it makes it look a lot more track ready in my opinion. Oh, and one final thing I almost missed here is you can see them lovely wide arches on the fenders of this car. They look fantastic and make it look a lot more aggressive. And one final thing which you do actually see on the grille, which is modelled through the interior plastic, is that large Ford badge. It's just a oval shape. It does not receive any tampo though. So that is unfortunate, but you could add your own details using sharp acrylic paints. Anyways, that is it for the front of this car. Now let's move on to the next side. Alright, and taking a look at the next side of this car, it is the exact same as the previous. However, one thing I did not mention about the previous side is you can see the door handles do feature in the actual metal casting itself. Anyways, that's it for this side of the car. Now let's move on to the next side. Alright, and taking a look at the rear of this car, there's quite a lot of detail here, even though there is no tampo work. So first of all, I will mention that the rear light bar has been created through the window plastic. Very nice use of that. I think it looks very realistic. You can also see the tailgate of this car is created through the chrome interior plastic, and you can also see the F-150 badge is also engraved into that plastic. I will also mention that this car does have a nice diffuser, making it look a lot more sporty and track ready, and that is created through the black base plastic. Very nice use of that. If I tilt the car just a smidge there, you can see those nice wide arches which feature in the metal casting, keeping that wide look to this car going. This car is very, very wide. And if I tilt the car just a bit more, you can see that nice truck bed spoiler there. Obviously the bed of this truck is covered up, but we will move on to the top right now so you can have a good look at that. Alright, and taking a look at the top of this car, there's quite a lot of detail here in terms of tampo work and also in the actual metal casting, as well as other cool features, so let's get straight into it. First of all, taking a look at the hood of this truck, you can see there is a nice hood vent in the metal casting. You can also see that returning camouflage kind of look with all them different coloured blue triangles on the hood returning from the side of the car. I will also mention that there are windshield wipers on this car, and you can see there are a few smaller vents near the windshield. Very nice detail there. Moving on to above the cab of this truck, you can see there is a nice roof scoop on this. That features in the metal casting itself, and you can also see there is a nice roof spoiler on this thing as well. So this car does have two spoilers technically, and yeah, that really does add to the look of this. Without that, I just don't think it would have looked as cool. This car is absolutely awesome so far. And the final few details we do have is, first of all, we have the Ford writing there, which has been done in white, very much the same as the Ford logo on the side. And you can also see in the bed of this truck there is quite a lot of detail. So first of all, I will mention that the bed of this truck is actually created through the interior plastic, which is done in chrome. And you can also see that there is a roll cage in the actual bed of this truck as well. Really cool detail there. And you can actually see through into the bed through a little kind of window design there, which is created through the window plastic. Very interesting that Hot Wheels did that to this car. But again, I think it adds to the aesthetic of this car. Looks great in my opinion. And finally, I want to talk about the interior of this car. So the front seats of the interior of this car are kind of the traditional look, with obviously the headrest and everything like that. But the rear seats are very interesting. They almost remind me of like the 50s. They don't have any headrests or anything, and they're more of like a bench rather than a seat. I find that really cool. Somebody who knows more about the Lightning can probably tell me if that's actually accurate to the real life Lightning, or if these are kind of some modified seats in there. For me, I think they are modified seats. I definitely can't see the new Lightning coming with them seats. But there you go, really cool little detail there. Alright, and that is it for the showcase of this Hot Wheels model. Now let's move on to my final thoughts and review on this thing. Alright, and now it's time for my final thoughts and review on this car. I really like this casting. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's totally fine. But I do think it's very well executed. I really do recommend you pick this thing up if you do see it in stores. Simply, if you don't really like it too much, this is a first edition. So it will be valuable in the future 100%, because any first editions are valuable. Because it's the first ever release of this car, and it will be never released in this exact look ever again. I also do like the aero disc wheels on this. I really do think it adds to the track aesthetic of this car. I also do like the tamper work on this thing. I think it's definitely really cool looking and does add to that track vibe. I also do like the fact that it does have wing mirrors and it also has windshield wipers. It just has everything. I also really do like the use of the plastics to create the kind of rear of the car as well as the front grille section and headlights of the car. But anyways, that is really it for my kind of opinions on this. Now it's time to rate this car out of 10. So what I'm going to give this car out of 10, it is going to be receiving a very well earned 9.5 out of 10. Really, really nice. I also do love this blue colour on it. So close to being a 10 out of 10. I think this is absolutely perfect. And yeah, I don't know why it's not quite a 10 out of 10 for me. It just isn't. And I am trying to reserve the 10 out of 10 spot for the best of the best. This one's definitely one of the best of the best, but I don't think it's quite the best of the best, if you know what I mean. But anyways, that is really it for this video. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure you like. If you're new to this channel, subscribe, and also press that notification bell so you do not miss any new uploads. Remember, you can also share this video with any friends, family, and any groups who may be interested. But remember, don't feel pressured if you don't feel like you have anybody who may be interested. You watching this video all the way to the end means so much to me, and I really do thank you for making it all the way up until this point. But anyways, that's it for this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye everyone.